In 2007, Kuju and Sierra Entertainment released the follow-up to the Xbox Live Arcade hit Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. The sequel, entitled Geometry Wars Galaxies, took everything that was great about the original and enhanced it with extra levels and objectives. While they were developing the Wii version, they were also hard at work making a portable version for the Nintendo DS. How could they possibly take something that works so well on the Wii and release it for a much less powerful handheld? Well, they found a way that involves a few compromises. The graphics and sound are the first changes you'll notice about this version. We'll get to those in a few minutes, but first we need to address the biggest obstacle to enjoying the game, the controls. On the Wii, you can use the dual analog sticks on the classic controller, and it is nearly perfect. Unfortunately, there are no sticks on the DS, so you'll have to control the action much differently. It's not about finding the best control scheme, it's about finding the control scheme that sucks the least. They do give you several options, and each one has its pros and cons. You can move your ship around with the D-pad and aim with the stylus or the A, B, X, and Y buttons. You can also swap them around so you fire with the D-pad and move with the stylus or buttons. You can also set the game to the top or bottom screen. Putting it on the bottom is the most accurate, but your hand and the stylus will sometimes obscure the action. If you set it to the top, it can be hard to make quick adjustments to enemies. I found one of the better options was to not hold the system and sit the DS on the table like a laptop. The only drawback to playing this way is that it is nearly impossible to reach the shoulder buttons quickly to use a bomb. I tried this one on a few different systems. The DSi XL is usually my go-to system for DS games. While it did look nice on the larger screens, the XL's D-pad isn't suited very well for the precise movements necessary for survival, and the system is a bit too bulky to hold comfortably with one hand. The next one I tried was the 3DS XL. I generally don't play DS games on here because they tend to look a little blurry, but this one actually looked pretty nice. It was also great to move the ship around with the circle pad. Unfortunately though, it was more awkward to play on because of how heavy the system is. The one that ended up working out the best for me was the DS Lite. Sure, you don't get the big beautiful screens, but it is really easy to hold and control with one hand. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of work just to play a DS game. It was. Once you wrap your head around the awkward control scheme, you'll be able to enjoy Galaxy's addictive gameplay. As I said earlier, one hand controls your ship's movement, and the other controls your firing direction. You also have a drone that can help you out by attacking enemies for you. The drone has different behaviors that get unlocked and will eventually level up. You unlock these new behaviors by collecting and spending gems, which are dropped by defeated enemies. These gems are not only the game's currency, but also increase your multiplier, and is crucial for getting enough points to complete the stages. Alright, now we can get back to the graphics. They are a lot dimmer, not as sharp, and don't pop off the screen the same way they do on the console version. The game still looks pretty nice though. You will notice that the enemies tend to move a little bit slower. In addition to that, there is the occasional spot of slowdown when the action gets too intense. This version also features a great soundtrack from Chris Chudley of Audio Antics. The audio quality did take a hit on the DS, but the compositions are all excellent and fit perfectly for a game like this. There are a couple of really nice bonuses for both of these games. The first is that you can play the original Retro Evolved game on each system. Obviously there won't be any achievements to unlock, but it is still quite enjoyable without them. The second is that you can unlock levels by connecting the DS version to the Wii version. Geometry Wars Galaxies was a fantastic game on the Wii, but maybe a bit too much for the DS to handle. While still a decent and fun game, there were a lot of compromises that were made, and many will be turned off by that. Despite its shortcomings, I still enjoyed my time with the game, but would recommend that you check out the Wii version first before bothering with this one. And that will do it for this review. As always, I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time.